Should you quit your job and change careers? If you clicked on this video, then you're probably already thinking about doing it, but you're looking for a sign or a few signs to let you know that it is okay to take this leap of faith and shake things up. I know this can seem like a really daunting decision, and it can be a really big career decision, and so you're going to want to make sure that you're doing the right move for yourself and your career and your overall happiness and success. So by the end of this video, you will know with 100% certainty if you should be quitting your job and switching careers. Oh, and if you want more career tips just like this, or you want to know how to successfully switch careers, you're going to want to subscribe to this YouTube channel or share this video with a friend who is thinking about switching their job because they are a little unhappy at work right now. So I already have a video up on this channel explaining why I decided to switch careers 4 years ago and become a corporate recruiter without any prior experience. You can watch the full video right over here, but in summary, basically I wasn't very happy at work and I didn't find my job to be exciting or fulfilling. I was really dreading going to work on Mondays and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do next or if I should even quit because I was doing really well at my job and I was even up for promotion again. It was a really scary time, but I knew that for my overall health and happiness, I wanted to do something else. But how do you know when it's actually time to quit your job and switch careers? So the first thing that you need to consider and think to yourself is, why did you choose this job in the first place? Did this all really start from the major that you chose in college? And maybe you just stuck with that major which led to a specific type of job and now you don't want to waste your degree. I hear that all the time. If you were anything like me, you were good at math in high school and then you decided to pick a college major that relied heavily on math, and so I chose accounting, which of course leads to very specific accounting and finance jobs when you graduate, which is exactly what I started in with my career. And unfortunately, a few years later, I realized I didn't really like that job and I ended up making a career switch, and now I don't even use my degree, but I am so happy every time I go to work, and honestly, I don't regret it. But this may sound just like you, where you decided to choose something based on your strengths and now you're not sure if you actually like it or not. Or maybe you chose your job because of what your parents wanted you to do or due to other external factors and influences that led to your career decision. Myself, as an Asian American, my parents wanted us to become doctors or lawyers when we grew up, and now software engineers, because those are also really cool jobs too. But there is a certain stigma that your parents or society will place on you at a very young age, and for some people this can stick with them all the way throughout their entire life and can subliminally lead to how they choose their first job. So what I want you to do right now is go ahead and pause this video and think about your why and how you decided to choose this job in the first place. If you didn't choose this job 100% based on your own interests and research, then I highly consider that you move on to step number 2. So the next thing to consider is whether you actually hate your job itself or just the company or your boss. When you are able to separate these two very distinct factors, your decision on whether or not you should quit your job and change careers will become extremely clear to you. Oftentimes I have clients coming to me complaining about how much they hate their current job and that they want to switch careers. But when I ask them questions and probe a little bit deeper, it turns out that a lot of the factors that they attribute to their unhappiness at work are actually not related to the core job itself and its responsibilities. Some common things I hear all the time is that I have to work a lot and I have no work-life balance, or I feel very isolated at work or on my team, or my manager doesn't really appreciate me and all the things that I do, or, and this is a very popular one, I was passed up for promotion again. These are all components of the company or the environment that you're in, not necessarily the job. So if you were to simply just keep your job but move to a different, better company with a better work environment or manager, you would actually become much happier and your problem would be solved. And by the way, if you want tips on how to write a resume that stands out to recruiters so you can actually get that job at the other company, you should watch this video right here. Okay, so what if you're thinking, Corey, none of those things actually apply to me? Well then, what I want you to do is this thought exercise. Imagine that you showed up at work tomorrow and you had an amazing manager or boss, and that you felt appreciated at work, and you got a 20% raise. would you still be unhappy? If the answer is yes, then it's most likely related to your job and you should definitely think about switching careers. Now, before you go ahead and quit, there is a third factor that you need to consider, and that is whether or not you can literally afford to switch careers right now. Do you have financial commitments right now or obligations that would really impede your ability to switch careers? For example, do you have a mortgage that you need to pay off? Do you have a lot of student loan debts? Do you have children that you need to be taken care of because you are the sole provider for them? If so, I would consider instead to make small incremental steps while keeping your current job today while striving to switch careers. So this could be something like taking additional responsibilities at your current role in potentially a different department or a cross-functional team so that you can get experience outside of your core domain, which would then make you marketable for an internal transfer later on. And I would recommend doing this instead of quitting your job altogether and going to graduate school. And if you want to know which master's degrees are actually worth it, I did make a video for that right over here, which you are going to want to check out before you go ahead and take 2 years off of your career and invest thousands of dollars into getting an advanced degree. Another avenue to also explore to see if you can actually afford to make this career switch is if you can see if your partner, spouse, or family members could provide financial assistance for you in the short term while you are striving to make this career switch. Now, after exploring all of these possible options and routes, if you still can't afford to make this career switch, I do want to point out that this is something that you should be striving towards and working towards in the long run. And don't just give up on this goal because it's not feasible today in the short term. You should set a pretty aggressive timeline with yourself and make sure you are saving aggressively, not expanding your lifestyle, and not accumulating more financial obligations that would prevent you from making this leap. Remember, the longer you stay in a specific career doing the same type of job, the harder it will be for you to actually get a new job in a different field because you'll be building a lot of experience in the wrong areas. Alright, so right now, are you feeling inspired to make a career switch and hopefully not need to watch videos like this one anymore? Well, if so, I highly encourage you to sign up for a strategy session down on my website below, CareerShakers.com. I'd love to chat with you, hear about your personal situation, and see what we can do to build out a career plan for you so you can actually make a career switch and find a job that you truly enjoy. Thank you all for watching, and don't be afraid to shake things up.